everyone, my name is Shauna and this is vlog number 3. That word vlog does not come easy to me. I always want to say vlog. I'll get it eventually. So how was everyone's week? My week was better than last week. I mean, I didn't spend any day this week covered in spiders. There was one day that I worked though that I spent most of the day having ladybug larvae fall on my head and shoulders from an awning, and for some obtuse, yay, ladybugs, arbitrary, spiders, probably socially constructed reason that is not nearly as creepy as having spiders fall on you or fly at you or be blown onto you, whatever happened to me. What else did I do with my week? Well, it's been super beautiful in Seattle lately, so I picked up a hobby that I haven't picked up in about a year. I started hoop dancing again. If you don't know what hoop dancing is, it's sort of like contact juggling with your entire body and a hula hoop rather than just with your hands and in an acrylic ball a la David Bowie and Labyrinth. And just like contact juggling or any kind of juggling really, there are tricks that you learn how to do, and I picked up 2 tricks nearly instantaneously upon bringing out my hula hoops that have flummoxed me for over a year now. So that felt pretty good and has just made me want to hoop dance even more. If you're still kind of confused about what hoop dancing is, there are links down below in the doobly-doo to videos of hoop dancers doing all kinds of crazy awesome things, like just hooping around this part of their shoulder and lighting their hula hoops on fire and hooping that way, and it'll kind of describe to you, I suppose, visually why I'm into hoop dancing, because it's really fun and it's super cool looking and I'd like to be that skilled at it. Yesterday I also got to go see Kevin Smith. That was awesome. Ish. I say ish not because of Kevin Smith or Jason Mewes. They're out touring and doing a Q&A of a new movie that Jason Mewes produced called Jay and Silent Bob's Super Groovy Cartoon Movie, which is sort of a little, too stoner humor for me. Not that I have any problem with stoners, just I'm not one and I haven't been one, so I don't get it. And I'm getting to the point now where dick and fart jokes really need to be well constructed for me to find them hilarious. That makes me feel really old. But despite that, it was a really good time. There was a lot of aspects about the cartoon and the cartoons that preceded it that I really did like. The whole experience was just greatly improved by having Kevin Smith and Jason Mewes there to do their infamous long-winded Q&As and talk about the project, which was really what I was there to see. But partway through the Q&A, I start to notice that a couple of rows behind me, there's this male voice responding in agreement to about every third sentence Kevin Smith says. And it's this kind of low, guttural noise of assent. And then it dawns on me that it sounds vaguely sexual. And then it dawns on me that it probably is at least vaguely sexual, because there's heavy breathing involved in between the grunting noises. So I try to be nonchalant and kind of look over my shoulder like I'm stretching my neck out from sitting in the theater seat so long. And yeah, no doubt about it, some dude totally getting a handjob from his girlfriend 2 rows behind me. And I'm not shocked or appalled or scandalized by this because, I've been hearing stories about people getting freaky in theaters since I was a teenager. If they find Kevin Smith and Jason Mewes that erotic, good for them. I just wish that they would have kept it a little more quiet. Making those sorts of noises in a fully lit theater is just as distracting as letting your cell phone ring, texting, bringing in a screaming baby. So, if you're going to do this in a theater while watching Kevin Smith, or anyone really, some of us are actually trying to pay attention to the show that we paid to see. So what else? On my edition of the internet this week, there are two things that were kind of blowing everything up. The internet blew up earlier this week because of Time magazine's cover for the issue for the week of May 20th. The title on this cover is The Me generation, and goes on to describe millennials as narcissistic, lazy, to insinuate that all of them are still living with their parents needlessly, and then claims in even smaller print that millennials will save the world. This in and of itself is problematic, of course, but it was also accompanied by articles in the New York Times and a few other places that claim that the internet has ruined millennials. The fact that they were all given trophies has ruined millennials. The fact that none of them are driving means that they are failures. There has been so much opinion supporting this idea that millennials are just complete fuck-ups. When the older generation is critiquing millennials as lazy and spoiled because they all got trophies and have no work ethic and don't understand the way the world works, who they're really critiquing is themselves. Because they raised us. We, as humans, are products of our environment, and that environment includes the way our parents raised us, as well as the media and the society that we're exposed to as small children. It teaches us values and morals and ethics and the way to conduct ourselves. The culmination of those environments around millennials is what made millennials who they are. Our parents were the ones who decided to give everyone trophies. Our parents were the ones who told us not to work jobs wherein we were miserable because they did. Our parents were the ones who told us that we could be anything that we wanted to be as long as we put our minds to it and wanted it bad enough. Turns out, millennials just don't want to be like their parents. And there's nothing wrong with that. We've been taught that our entire lives, and now, all of a sudden, it's a bad thing. So, you millennials, or people who identify as millennials out there, once you get your initial rage out, just remember, these articles are more of a commentary on the job that the last generation was doing, and not about millennials. We haven't been given our proving grounds yet. We haven't been able to develop that environment that new generations of humans then develop in. But we are already being called failures because of the decisions that our parents made. I think these articles are doing less of selling millennials short and more of a really unself-aware claim of failure from the generations that raised them. The other thing that blew up the internet this week, of course, was Angelina Jolie's decision to have a preventative radical double mastectomy because she has a mutation of a gene that raises her risk of having breast cancer by no small margin. And of course, about 30 seconds after the article is published, a significant portion of the internet proceeds to stick its head right up its ass. This isn't having any real effect on breast cancer research, prevention, treatment. She went through an extremely expensive procedure that most people cannot elect to do because we can't afford it. People are going to retain their opinions about whether or not it's a good idea for anyone to do, let alone if it was a good idea for Angelina to do. This really shouldn't have been something that I had to give any craps about. However, people started mourning the loss of her breasts and also her femininity. And that's when it becomes an issue. She can do what she wants. Could everybody please stop defining women by their boobs? I don't care if they're famous. I don't care if it's their job to be sexy. I don't care what your definition of sexy is. You are no more or less of a woman no matter what state your breasts are in. And I can't believe that we still have to have this conversation. So there you go. That's my week. What have you guys been up to? Let me know in the comments down below, or make a video response. It'd be awesome to see you guys' faces. And yeah, hopefully I'll talk to you guys soon. But in the meantime, I hope you have a lovely week. Bye!